Hi everyone, welcome. This is my first video on PES Club Manager, and I just thought I'd do it because there isn't a lot of video on the internet. So here I am on my Android phone, and I'm logging in to my Konami game, and we'll just wait for a bit to see it get into the menu. Okay, it's taking a while. So that's what it normally does is checks for updates. This game has been around for 5 years. As you can see, is a 5 years anniversary. And normally, what the team does is they give you quite a number of bonus items. So you don't, even though this is a freemium game where you can play for free or basically pay for more coins and other stuff. But you can get by without spending any money, and that's what I've been doing over the last 3 months. So yeah, let's get into it. As you can see, they're sponsored by Barcelona. That used to be Juventus about last month. But I don't mind seeing Messi every time I log in. And when you log in, you get a news panel where you can catch up with all the news and announcements. So PS Club Manager has a lot of updates. I mean, the team works hard, and sometimes when you get a software update that you have to do, the server may go down for like a couple hours. But normally they compensate that with some coins for you to play with. So yep. So welcome to my page, and as you can see, I'm on League Match Day 18. And what is that? That is basically means that this is the final day of my of the league match, and as you can see here, I'm in the 10th place. Okay, so it's not really good performance this year, but anyhow, it's yeah. Anyhow, I think you can't win all the time, and the way this game works is that you have to build a team, and if your team is top 3 in the league, then you get to have a promotion. But if you don't, you can actually get relegated. So let's take a look at the league table. So here's 1, 2, and 3, and that's in green, so that you can actually tell, that means something, and that means a promotion. And if you end up in the bottom 3, which is 8, 9, and 10, you actually get relegated. Okay, so if you can see here, I'm in Superstar Division 9. Okay, so that's probably like the second highest tier, and the next highest tier on that is Superstar X. Okay, it doesn't matter. So now the reason why I didn't perform well is you can take a look at edit team. Okay, so it's on the bottom row, the first on the left. Okay, so let's take a peek at my team. And as you can see, I have quite a weird formation here. I have 4-3-3, a variant of 4-3-3. Okay, so I have David De Gea as a goalkeeper. His rating is about 100. So 100, I would say, is probably like it's actually pretty good. You probably need like at the higher levels, you probably need like a minimum of like 90, 95 for every position to have a good chance of winning every match. So you can see my back line here is Luis Felipe left back, Joe Gomez center back with Piqué, and Semedo. So Semedo is you can see he's 23 years old, but his rating is only 88. Okay, so the reason why is I had a older defender which retired, and I needed to get a new guy in, but it takes time to train him up, and that's the reason why my league performance is a bit off this year. And we have David Silva, defensive midfield, 97, pretty good rating. And you can see here that it's he's a 7-star player. So the stars actually, well, they actually mean quite a lot. Oops, I managed to change it accidentally. But the stars actually mean their highest rating will be higher than usual. So I think 7-star can go up to like 102 rating without any problems. And on my attacking midfield position, I have Nakamura, 24 years old. It's only a 6-star. It's pretty good. I mean, I think 5-star is a minimum. So Lanzini here is a 5-star player. Nakamura is 6 stars. So normally 5-star is a minimum. 6 is like kind of like you probably need 3 or 4 players of 6 stars on your team, and possibly even one or two 7-star, then you have a really good side that can challenge. So, and I have Johan Cruyff. I think it's a misspelling, but he's 22 years old. He's playing on the left wing. I have Luis Suarez, only 22 years old, 7 stars, 95. So I'm still building him up. I think I can build up comfortably to 102 or 103 or 104. Okay, and I've Pedro on the right wing. Okay, so Pedro is a 5-star player. I think 95, 96 is sort of like my maximum expectation for him. So yeah, anyway. Okay, so that's my team, and these are my reserve. A goalkeeper, left wing, right wing, and so on. And I have the reserve. Okay, so they're reserves. They're not the subs. These are the subs. Okay, what else? Now, when I play this game, I tend to play it, because it's a manager game, so you don't really have to be involved when the game is going on. So normally I just, tap on a few buttons, get the game going, and from there, like the game will play itself, and I'll be busy doing my work or talking on the phone or doing some housework, especially during this lockdown. So it's so I try to do things the convenient way. So one of the best things you can do is auto lineup. So is this button here, auto lineup? And if you're like super lazy and you just want a computer to pick for you instead of deciding and players for every position, all you have to do is do this. Like, hey, the starting team members will be rearranged based on their ability. Are you sure about this? I say yes. Normally I say yes, right? Sometimes, so the more games they play, the more their stamina will be reduced. So you can't really use the same team and play the entire season. What you have to do is you probably have to, top up their stamina. So this is the other button here. So it's the most on the left bar is the top button on the left bar. So if you don't want to do this, right? So you can basically add up the stamina using this command here through the player, right? If you don't want to do this and you want to save a bunch of time, what you can do is just set a minimum here and press this, and you upgrade, right? So you have obviously motivation is important as well. So motivation is affected by performance on a field. If the players or the team lost a match, then obviously the motivation will be affected. So I like par is okay, but I always like my players to have a slightly more motivation. And as you can see here, there's only like one person where they're probably on par, and they need slightly more motivation. So, and I can select, I only want to do that for everyone, or I can do that, and that'll be too expensive. It doesn't make sense. So normally I just, choose starting lineup. And on the bottom, injuries, you can see no one is injured right now. So I'm just going to top up my motivation for my team. So here I go. I press it, and I just use my recovery. I use 1 unit of recovery, and that's it. Yeah. So yeah, so this is normally what I do before every match. I don't tend to change formation a lot. But anyway, let's take a look at some of the views that we have here. So there's 5 different types of view. So I'll go through the first one, which I normally use. So you can see the position. You can see the rating of the player. You can see the name of the player. There's a little arrow indicating the morale. And of course, the bottom bar, that's for fitness or condition. Okay, if you tap to the second view, you can see that it comes out with a nice picture of the player's name, position, and and the rating. Okay, and tap it one more time, and you can see that these players have a role. Okay, so it's kind of like you can be a midfielder, but are you a defensive or not defensive? Are you a anchor midfielder? Are you a box-to-box midfielder? Are you a whole player? So things like that, right? So so that brings a little bit more variation into the game, which I find interesting. So as you can see here, there's different types of roles, which you can actually see if you tap on it. It's a bit difficult to tap because the button is small, but okay, let's see. Okay, so you have offensive fullback, Luis Felipe is offensive fullback, Joe Gomez, build up, Piqué is extra frontman, which actually means that he'll actually, during attack, you actually move up the field. And you have Semedo, who's an offensive fullback. David Silva as a creative playmaker. I think that's a good position to, to have a creative playmaker. And you have whole players. You have a creative midfielder playmaker again, but Nakamura is placed up front, just behind the strikers. So that makes for, I think, pretty creative team. And you have a whole player, which this is not ideal. I think ideally we have like a, prolific winger or somebody like that. But anyway, I'll just leave it there for now. And Luis Suarez, a goal poacher, really useful because he'll position himself in a way that he can score, more likely to score. And on the right side, right wing, we have Pedro, who's a prolific winger. Okay, so you can see the positions for the subs as well. All right, so that's useful stuff. Okay, and let's see. Oh, I just exited. Let's get back in and go through the last two views. Okay, and we have the fourth view. Okay, and the fourth view basically shows skills. So it is actually skills. So if you notice, like under Lanzini, there's one black box. Okay, so actually I can just like move positions, but anyway, it looks all right. So you have like three black box. All right. Oh, sorry. You have three box and one box is black. That means it's available. That slot is available. It's just that I haven't activated a skill yet. Okay. And then you have another two box, which is, I can say is transparent boxes. That just means it's not open. So technically there's only like one box, and which a skill box that you can use. And over here, Nakamura, you can see that, again, there's three boxes, but there's two black box and one transparent box. So technically what that means is that the two black boxes are skills where you can fit in. So the box on the left, you can see that is pure black, which means it's totally empty. It's open now, and you can put a skill. You can assign a skill to that box. But the second box is actually has a padlock on it, right? So what that means is actually you need to unlock it before you assign a skill to it. But anyway, we'll go on to David Silva. Okay, so David Silva has, in fact, he has skills. Okay, and if you want to know more about the skills, you can press it down here. Okay, so elite physical increases physical abilities such as body balance and kicking power. I think that's really important for a role there. So yeah, so you get the gist of it. This is what the view looks like. That's the fourth view. So it's pretty. I exited again. I need to get back in. So it's quite surprising because normally for a mobile game, you wouldn't expect so much variables, so much different types of data to be available to the player. But it's pretty amazing, right? So so this is another view. I think it's just a variation. I don't see any difference between this view and the second view actually. But it's up to you. You can scroll through this to get a good picture of your team. And let's see. Okay, and then you have obviously strategies. Okay, so you can see all these buttons on the bottom row. Okay, so there's some variation you can choose. You can do possession or counter attack, and you can choose the type of passing that you want, short or long. You can choose where you want to attack, either in the middle area or in the wide area, in the flanks. And defensive style, do you want all defense or front line pressure? And when you're pressuring, like, do you want it to be aggressive or conservative? Okay. And the other button here, okay, bottom row, rightmost button actually opens up strategy. So it's like the formations, 4-4-2 and so on. So that's probably like the first place I'll go. And in the formation, we have quite a large number of presets. Okay, so there's a whole bunch that I can do. Obviously, when I choose another formation, then you see sort of like black circles, and that just basically means that that player is not suitable to play in that position. But we have a whole range. Quite a number of variation. I think for a mobile game where most people wouldn't want to go too in depth and come up with customization. I mean, the kind of option they have is really excellent. So you have from the bottom 5-3-2, 5-4-1, 4-3-3, 3-4-3, 4-5-1, 3-5-2, 4-4-2. the classic. 3-6-1, like the US national team. 4-5-1, 4-4-2 again, different variation. And yeah, 4-3-3, which is my preferred formation. So I was gonna move it back to 4-3-3. I think, yeah, I think there's already some evidence that is messed up. I think this is messed up. Oh well. Anyway, I'll go back and I'll fix this. I'll just fix it using this. Okay, so yeah, it's fixed. All right. So let's go back to strategy. The other option you have is tactical option. And tactical option, you basically have a summary of how your team is gonna play. Okay, so you can play around these functions. It's quite a number of them, like positioning, yeah, maintain position, flexible, support range, numbers in attack. So I tend to choose like a conservative kind of setting, containment area. So you can play around this, and it really helps because we're gonna play a game later on, and you can see that yeah, the graphics is really good, both in 2D and 3D. And yeah, if you don't have time, you can actually just speed the game up, right? 3x. That's what I do all the time. But okay, what else are we meeting in strategy? Okay, obviously, set players, right? So in most games you can set players for penalty kicks or free kicks. Left side of the field, right side of the field. Who's the captain, so on. So I'm pretty passive player in this sense. So normally I just press that button at the bottom, right? Set to auto. But if you don't want to set the auto, you can select, right? You can change captains. But I'm pretty comfortable with PK being I'm pretty comfortable with PK being a captain. And as you can see, the auto setting actually went to people players with high ratings, right? So David Silva is taking the free kick on the left side of the field, okay, and this free kick, I'm not sure what's S mean, but Nakamura is doing it, all right. So it's pretty cool. Yeah, I'm just comfortable with the auto setting. So let's move on. Okay, and the other thing I want to point out is over here at the bottom, you see the OTR. There's an overall rating of the team, and you have actually two figures. So you have 848 and 837, and you have attack 831. Defense is a bit weaker than attack. When you change formation, it will actually reflect. So if you choose like a defensive formation and you put your players in, then defense rating will be higher, but attack will be quite weak. But in this case, I've chose quite an attacking formation, so I expect attack to be higher than defense. But still, I think normally I'll try to get that defense figure up by training the players. And you have teamwork, which is important as well. So obviously, football is a team game, not an individual game. And you have team glory, and depends on the track record, team glory will be high. So all right, let's get into it. So I have, as you can see here, I have one soccer ball, okay, and one ball means one game, and this is like a time-based game, right? So obviously that is introduced because if you don't have time and you want to play more, you can just pay for more coins, right, and purchase more games, so you don't have to wait. But for those of you who just want to play it like me and not pay anything, then and you can just wait for it. Yeah, I don't mind waiting. Okay, so let's get into it. League match day 18. Okay, it's my team, Dolphins. I have a Manchester United logo. I'm a Manchester United fan, and PSG, Baltic Pirates, whatever. Okay. So let's get into the game. Okay, now this is the screen that you see, so you can see how you match up against the opponent. So attack, we're slightly stronger than them in attack, but we're weaker in defense, which means we have to be careful. But teamwork, we're higher, so looks pretty evenly matched. But overall, the only figure you should look at is this 850 for me and 865. So pretty evenly matched, but I think they have the edge. I think it's probably like a draw or maybe a loss, right? And you can use boosters as well. So boosters basically just help you get more from the game, right? So whatever the result, if you choose one of these boosters, like this booster, you get more game points, right? It's cash money in the game, or you get more fame, or you can get more motivation, or stamina. But I'm not going to use any of them. And in terms of regulation, I'll just click on that. I almost never click on this. 10 teams, blah blah blah, home and away, knockout system. Yep. Okay, 90 minutes. All right. Win gets 3 points, draw gets 1 point, loss 0, and after league standing is goal difference. So it's pretty standard. And like depending on the position, like these are the kind of rewards that you get at the end of the season. Number 1 position is you get a gold trainer contract, and you get $40 million in game money. Okay, let's get into it. Okay, so I'm not gonna try to do anything like weird. I'm just gonna go along with it. So just a matter of habit. So normally I would just press ability. I make sure like the most capable players are lined up. All right, and then I'll go here. I'll make sure like the stamina is good and motivation is good, and then I click kickoff. Okay, so we're into the first game. Okay, so you get this screen all the time. You have tips. It's quite a deep game, so I just play, and once in a while, if I notice some tips that's kind of useful, then I just check it out. But I don't check out everything in one time. I don't think this game is meant to be played like that. Okay, so we have kickoff, and I've chosen. So there's a couple of visuals that you can choose. So you have the 2D option, and I have like mobile. That's probably like top of the line, maybe 1 year ago. So it's not really like the most capable phone out there, but it's not really that bad. So I chose 2D because it's just more smooth, right? And oh man, they scored, and they also have a player got Suarez. So you have to remember that in this game, a lot of the players would be, how to say, it's not like there's only one Neymar or one Cristiano Ronaldo in the game. So you can have like Suarez, 2 Suarez, but it's a maximum 1 Suarez per side, if you know what I mean. So if you have a Ronaldo, you can only have 1 Ronaldo in your side at a single time. But anyway, Cruyff scored. Okay, so yeah, 1-0. Yeah, we're scored after 38 minutes. Oh no, we let in another goal. That's disappointing, but yeah, the game is far from over. We're just very close to halftime, but you can see the graphic is quite smooth, and it's too bad. That was a shot. Yeah, I didn't go anywhere. So we're in halftime now. Possession looks pretty even. Shots on target is actually even, but they're more accurate with the shot. They made most of the chances. And like even if you leave the phone there's a timer here that actually automatically brings you the second half. I find that useful. But we're just gonna go ahead and try to play the second half. So on the second half, I'm just gonna click 3D visual. So this is what it looks like. It looks pretty awesome because as you know, PES is an awesome game, and I guess they have some sort of like game engine from there. So it's not like as good as PES, but for a football management game to have this kind of graphics and the fact that the game is free, it's totally amazing, man. I don't expect that to get. I mean, I've been playing Football Manager for ages, since 1990s. So I know my Football Manager games, and for paying nothing and getting this kind of graphics in a manager game, that's amazing, man. I mean, you don't get that anywhere. That's why I figured that's why I'm so hooked on it, even though I'm still a big Football Manager fan. Okay, so you can see, like, yeah, the movement looks pretty fluid, and the thing is, there's probably less variation in the kind of action that happens on the field. But really, I'm not complaining. I mean, that looks fluid. That looks amazing. I think, yeah, it's pretty good. It's pretty good, right? So and there's another option. It's called assisted view, and I guess that's like flipping between 2D and 3D. But let's see how it goes. So we're in the 60 minutes. I'm still trailing 1 goal. I think the game probably moves a little bit slower on the 3D. But there you go. You see the assisted. So the assisted basically moved to 2D. until there's like a event that's worth showing, like a close call or goal. Oh no! Oh, good save, good save. All right, it's pretty awesome. I think I'm a good keeper, but just like the defense is weak, right? So yeah, that's why we conceded the extra goal. The other thing about this game is that this game is really like, I find that my ratings really matter a lot. Even though when we're watching the game, it feels like if both sides have a chance. But I find that if I'm like, my rating is 10 points below my opponent, then most of the time I will just lose. So yeah, but it's kind of weird. It's kind of weird. Of course, there's other variables like, for example, if your rating is not high, but your players have complementary skills, or your skills or the type of players that you have really matches like your strategy, your formation, your tactics, then you probably can get more out of it. But yeah, but so far, because I'm playing this for free, and I don't really have much expectation, so I don't really maximize anything. Yeah, so I can't tell you much on that. So okay, so we're back to the 2D view. So this is a slider. It's a really convenient slider that you can use. So like I'm behind, right, and I'm like, oh, it's all, not all attack. All attack is here. But let's say, yeah, I think, what's that? Okay, that's a replay. It's pretty close, pretty close. Okay, it's called attacking 2. All right. So I really want to be focused on attacking because oh, okay, that was close, man. That was close. But that also means that I'm more likely to concede a goal. And every time they come forward, I get worried. But let's see. Oh, we couldn't make it. So that's the thing, right? And one of the reasons why the game ran so fast is because I put it on 3x. You don't have to play at this speed. You can try 1x or 2x. If you're really into enjoying like the gameplay, then 1x would be really cool. But that was 3x that you saw. So yeah. It's normally not like that. It can be better. It's up to you guys. So okay, so this is what you see at the end of the season. So here's my record, and they say like, hey, look, you're in Division 8. Next season you'll be in Superstar Division 8. So that means we ended up mid-table and we couldn't get a promotion, but we weren't relegated either. And you have an end of season award, which is not great because 4-star trainer is, it sucks. But anyway, I'll take whatever they give me. Okay, so I can choose proceed. Okay, so I'm proceeding, and you can see that on this screen here, these are all my players, right? So I have quite a number of players, and yeah, and this is organized in according to the first team, substitute and reserve. Okay, so this amount of money that I have before and after, so I managed to gain some money, and I lost some fans. Holy crap, I lost 5,000 fans. That's too bad, man. That's too bad. But we'll get them back. We get them back because we have young players, and if we're training them, then they'll improve over next few season. So normally it's like this. Like you really have to match like the players that you have, how you're training them, and they'll peak at some point, and then the skills will decline. Then so you just have to time it. So you can't have a strong side all the time. Some seasons are there just to build, but some seasons are there where you actually try to win things. So okay, so development report. Now this development report is actually for a loan transfer. Okay, so in the start of the season, and you're gonna see later on, you have a choice to send 3 players below the age of 25 for training. So for loans. So they'll be loaned out to another football club, and normally they have improvement. So normally the maximum I can get is like 5 points improvement. So this guy used to be 86, and now he's 90. So 90 is sort of like entry level for me, I think. So that's really good. That's really good. That means we can find him some opportunities and let him play some games next season. All right. So I'm gonna click OK. And you have Carva. Yeah, okay, and this guy has been, you can see his stats improvement is quite drastic, right? So it's 21 match over the season, he's played 13 of them, and you can see some of the stats improved by 1 point, some of it is 2 points, but it's really like amazing areas where, like, for example, low pass, +4, and header ball winning +4, it's really, really great. Okay, stamina +3. So now stamina is like 91. So anything in the 90s is good. Okay, so he's a much improved player from before I sent him. And this guy is Diawara. He's a 5-star player. 75 is, is nowhere near enough. But now it's slightly better. I think most of the time it's like if I get a 6-star player to play in the position, then the 5-star, I'll just sell them off or something. But very much improved. I think he's just getting close to maybe, a spot in the first team, but not quite. So I have a season reward. Okay, and position bonus. Okay, so I'm gonna end season here. Okay, I'm gonna end my season. So every season the players will age 1 year. Okay, so that's how it goes. That's why you can't have a player forever, and just part of how the game works. Okay, training complete. Okay, so these are regular training. So I just happen to have training complete for PK. And let's see. So they're going to bring us to the training. So this is the player development or training tab. So I'm going to choose PK. And his trainer finished his training. So every trainer has 5 or 6 session. So if they finish the session, they'll just automatically leave the team. Okay. So what I'm going to do, again, I'm kind of lazy. So I'll just do like an auto setting. Okay. So when I choose the auto setting, as you can see here, is below 24. So if he's a youngster, they actually get a ability boost of +3. Okay, and there's 3 slots here. We only have 1 slot activated. No, that's quite normal for a 5-star trainer. If you have a 6-star trainer, maybe he has 2 slots activated. So as much as possible, we want to maximize the result of a training. Okay, so we want to make sure that this criteria fits. Now I just want to show you if it doesn't fit. So for example, let's see. Okay, this guy. Okay, David Silva. He's already 31. Right. You can see the button does not light up. Okay, when it doesn't light up means you don't get that bonus. So I'm gonna move it back, PK, because it's important. Always important to, 1 or 2 center backs should have like a close to 100 rating. And I want to build. He's 95 now, but still got a long way to go. He's got like 10 seasons to go. So there you go. Okay. And that's it. Right. Player development. Right. So we're back to the screen. So that was kind of like end season, beginning. Okay. So the new season is here. Start season. Yes or no? Yes, definitely. I'm in for it. So we just started our season. And for every season that you start, there's 2 options. So you can join the international league, where there's a promotion or relegation, or you can join a domestic league. So some people join domestic league, and the reason why is because like I said, the team is not ready and for promotion fight, so they just want to develop the team. So you can check the teams out, and it's also quite important the kind of rivals that you're up against, right? So obviously here you can see that they're in the high 800s. I think about 5 of them is high 800s, and several of them is 700, 600 plus. So 700, 600 plus is almost like guaranteed victory, but 800 close to 900, that's a bit difficult, right? Okay, and as you can see in this league, it's much tougher because everybody is like, so I think I probably won't get promoted. So, and there's an offer here. If I become a champion first time only, then I get 10 gold coins. So I'm gonna try this league. Okay, so I'm not looking for promotion because I know I can't make it, but I want my team to perform well. I want my players to develop, so I'm gonna go for this one. Okay, Dolphins will be playing in Domestic League Spain, and the fans are very excited about this. Excellent. And you have, okay, so you can select a sponsor. So the sponsor payment is based on like the conditions that you agree to. Now there's some risk of that, right? If you don't achieve it, you don't get anything. I think this is the easiest one. The third one, start training. Like the moment you start training, you get like a whole bunch of coins. That's like 18 coins. Pretty fair. Okay, I think I can get like a winning streak of 4. I think, yeah, a fair chance of doing that. But of course, it's not guaranteed. And if I can get 13 wins in a season, right? So basically, out of 10, I think 5, 10. So I think it's still a bit tough, But then again, I'm only gonna get like 20 coins in total for this. So probably I'm just gonna choose this one, and we sign up. So where do you go? A new sponsor, and here we go. All right, and let's see. Let's move on. Okay, so the other thing that you get every season is the football agent will give you an offer. So this always comes in handy because sometimes you're in a position where your team is depleted and you don't really have much good players, or you need to cover a certain position. So as you can see here, this free in the sense that you don't have to buy it, but you still have to pay a sum to sign up. So you have not very good choices, but it's free. So Mancini, which is center back, but also good as right back and central midfielder. Okay, 80 rating of 80 is not going to do much good for me, I think. The other thing I look at is down here below, right? You can see that there's some skills, right? So he has a fighting spirit. Okay, he has fighting spirit. Okay, he's an extra fun man. So stuff like that. So if I look at in terms of rating, all of them are like 80 rating. In terms of age, they're all 27. In terms of star rating, they're all 5-star. So then I'll probably compare the skills. So this guy, Jermaine Defoe, even though I think there's quite a low chance that he'll ever be my main striker, but he has a lot more skills. Okay, so that's the reason why why I'm gonna contract him. Okay, so yep, let's contract him on a 1-year contract. Okay, Defoe joins Dolphins. Yay. All right, and we move on to loan transfer. So loan transfer is where, like previously, we have some loan players coming back with improved specs, ratings. So this is the same thing, right? So these are the players that's eligible for loan, and maximum is 25 years old. So obviously the guys that's 23, 24, they're quite close to not being eligible. So I'm just gonna choose them. So when you choose them, you have 3 options. So basically, if you choose basic, they just roughly guaranteed to get a certain amount. Okay, but when these players are out on a loan, they can have a top performance, right? It's like it's like everyone is like think they did well. Then if you have a top performance, then you get an extra boost in rating. So normally I don't try to risk it because if you look in terms of percentage, basic looks to be like 50-55%, and balance, if you have a top performance, is like you have 50%, that's guaranteed, but if you have a top performance, you end up with an extra like 20%, right? So it looks like 70 or 25%, that looks like 75%. And advanced is where you only, if you have like a normal performance, you only get like 25%, but if you have top performance, you get like the full 100%. So in terms of risk, I always prefer balance, so that's what I'm going to choose. Okay, and that's what I'm going to choose for all these 3 players, right? So we're sending Khedira, Bakayoko, and Semedo for loan. Okay, so when you send out for loan, they're not eligible to play for your team. But anyway, let's proceed. Okay, negotiating a target team. So defining teams. So Sami Khedira is going to Leicester, Bakayoko is going to Aston, and Semedo is going to Saint Etienne. Okay, cool. All right. Okay. So as you can see here, we have 1 ball here, which means we can have one game to play, and I think it's time to look at other facets of the game. Okay, so normally when I start my season, you have to look here. Okay, so item rewards, please remember that when you get a reward, you actually have to come in here to claim it. Okay, so now I've clicked it, it's claimed, and there's like some notification, right? So some of the contracts I have to renew, and you have career record 5 years on the team. Okay, good. Yeah, so some guys have been here early because they're young when they came in, and there's a lot of chance to improve their stats. Okay, so I'm gonna go to contracts here. Obviously, it's a new year, so some of the players may require new contracts. So I'm gonna get in here, and I'm gonna try to spot. Okay, so this actually means that this contract is expiring and needs a renewal, and I don't mind extending contracts for them as long as they're like Still young, and still like have a chance to be like a main team player. So he's 27 years old. This Defoe is fine, right? We just got him. Okay, Guerrero, that's 28 years old. That's fine as well. So we got all the contracts renewed. Okay, that's Star. Ivan Star. We got all the contracts renewed, so we're fine there. Okay. Now the other thing with players is that you can have great players, but they won't develop without trainers. That's the way it works in the game. So over here, I can claim my trainer contract. Okay, so I've claimed it here. All right, and yeah, actually comes to this. So this is quite satisfying to see, right? So every time like you get a new player or a new trainer, this actually comes up. So it looks like a physical file, and you hand it like this guy. So it's quite satisfying to see, because it's not easy to get a trainer or a good trainer and a good player. Okay, so the other stuff I'll explain, but basically here in the trainer segment, you can sometimes you get it free. So you can see here is cost 0 coins, but I'll get trainer between the rating of 1 to 5. Okay, but since it's free, I don't mind. As long as we end up with like 4, maybe 4, I'll probably be happy. Okay, so do we just 1 star. Okay, that guy won't do any good. Okay, and the other buttons where you can actually spend coins. So this is where coins are valuable. Right, so as you can see here on top, I have 67 coins. You can buy more. I don't recommending buying, but if you want to support the game, then this one here. Okay, that only costs about $1 US, right? But still, I can't bring myself to buy it yet. But gold coins are probably one of the most useful things in this game. So if you want like scout times 10, and out of the 10 it's like guaranteed 5-star plus, but you get like 2 6-stars and 1 7-star. You also get an extra bonus item. So this is a really good package if you're looking for more trainers. Okay, so move back to player management. So over in player management is more or less the same thing. So you can do this like, I don't know, Energy Scout is free, and you can have like various packages where you can just use gold coins to buy more players. So there's 2 different packages. Is you can buy 10 or you can buy 1, depending on your needs. Normally I try to save money because roughly I know that on a large package of 10 players, you normally have to spend like 200 coins, but 300 coins. But they have this limited time offer, which is 200 coins. So 200 coins is pretty good if you can get like 1 7-star player and maybe 1 6-star player and the rest all 5-star players. So that's kind of like the norm here. Okay, but there we go. Right, so you have okay, so I still have that little arrow. So these are all my trainers. As we mentioned before, you can see that these are like the extra conditions. If you fulfill, then you get extra points during training. All right, okay, so let's move on. Okay, now we've been talking 40 minutes here, and partly is because it's such a complicated game. But okay, I'm gonna fix my player development. Okay, so just now, like one of the players left. Okay, so I need to train more players, and I think that, let's see, I know my weak points, which is right back. So I'm gonna try to train this guy. Okay, and he happens to be right-footed, so I'm fine with that. So he gets a bit of bonus for being right-footed. So Carvajal, so let's go, let's train him. All right, so okay, and in this game you also can attain stuff faster using a concept called like club building, city building. So this is where you build your stadium and your clubhouse and fans and all that, but I won't really go into that. We'll probably go through it in the next episode. But you can build the entire town, and all of them like hold some advantages. Like this resort house is giving me, I don't know, something for injury. So there's 1 unit of that, and it looks good. I mean, it's satisfying when you look at it. When you see a city's built, feels like you're going somewhere. So let's see. Okay, and the other tab here is achievements. All right, so bottom bar right, you have achievement. So I've done my achievement for today, and I've claimed all the rewards. Tomorrow maybe I'll do another video where you can see me fulfilling the achievements and getting the rewards. But there's time limited and there's regular. Okay, so like almost every factor, I mean, in this game, counts. So when you earn funds to a certain level, you get gold coins. When you play win season matches, you get more energy and you get more games, or injury kits or motivation kits. Um, it's quite a number of rewards. Okay, I have a club level as well. Okay, so these are like some of the records, and you have club level as well. But let's go back. It's just nice to have bonuses, right? I mean, like, besides the daily kind of achievement, I don't really keep track of the rest. And there's other cool ways where you can like earn players. So there's something called friends, right? So this is a social game in a way, but you don't really have to like know people. So what I normally do is like so this is a friends list. I just go to like friend invitation. Oh, yeah, I did that before. Friend search. Okay, ID search. You can do that as well. But you can do a random. Can't find the setting, but you can do like a random invite, and you can send gifts to your friends, right? Okay, and these are like the Facebook settings, whatever. But basically, what you do is when you send things to friends, you actually make friend points. So as you can see here, I have 11,420 friend points. Interesting, but not so interesting because I still can't get what I want. Okay, and ideally, I think so. You have different categories here. You have platinum contract, gold contract for players. You have motivation kit, stamina recovery kit, injury kits. You have special coaches as well. We can add slot or do limit break. Explain a bit about that later. But normally I would, aim for something like a platinum contract. So I was so far off, right? I need like 33,000 more. But anyway, one day we'll get there and we'll end up with an excellent player. So that's sort of like the social part of the game. Then the other part of the game is Hall of Fame, right? So why Hall of Fame? Well, it's quite easy. When your players reach a certain amount of games and achievement, then they get to be nominated for Hall of Fame. And you can see here that there's a lot of players where they were inducted in the Hall of Fame, and a lot of my players are like 90 plus, right? So yeah, I have plenty of players before. These are like my greatest players, and I think it's really cool because you may have a good player for a couple of seasons, then he grows old, his ability drops, and he retires. But this way, if they're inducted to Hall of Fame, you can always get them to play in a Hall of Fame team, right? So you can see here I had PK 2 times. He's obviously great, and I know that he can go to like 103, right? And Pedro was recently he's okay. So he's recently eligible for induction. So I'm gonna induct him here. So let me press this button here, the yellow button. Okay, so Dolphin has a new legend. Okay, congratulations, Pedro. And you can see that button turn into green. That means he's still on my team. And if his future ability improves, so let's say from 95 to 97, I can press refresh and I'll get to update. Obviously there's no difference if we do the update now. Okay, so we can scroll down. I think I have another player which is eligible. Oh, okay, so Joe Gomez is 95. He was inducted at only the age of 26, which is a great achievement, right? So this is what I'm talking about. So if I update this now, he'll actually his rating will actually be 96, but his age will be 29. So I'm gonna update that. It's really cool. Okay, but that also shows that in like in like 3 years he only improved like 1 point. So I'm not really doing a good job as manager in terms of developing him. And how about David Silva? I think it's still the same, but he'll grow older, so I don't want to touch it. And David De Gea, let's see. Okay, so he's a new legend, right? So we added 2 new legends. Okay, so we probably have like close to 200 legends here already. I've been playing for 3 months, and we can exit that. And where we can go to check out the Hall of Fame team is here. All right, so there's actually an improvement in the stadium area where you have to improve, and the max limit of 7-star players is only 4, 6-star player only 14, and so we're limited by the amount of high ranking players. Obviously, if like they allow 7-star for every position, then we end up with the best possible team, right? But right now, this is the best team I can get. Again, I'm lazy. I'm doing the auto lineup. Okay, and so far this is what I end up with 96. Okay, we probably can improve that a bit. We'll play around a bit. Yeah, but anyway, I'll leave it here, and I can show you where you can play the classic game. So it's not only the league that's kind of like available to play in a PES Club Manager. So you can slide this banner here. Okay, you can see that. Okay, so when I slide it, you have different type of competition. So this one is pretty special. Okay, it's an all-star series. So I'm registered, but it's only going to start tomorrow. Like they have all sort of different competitions coming up. So you'll never be bored. Like if you're in this game, this is a special match which actually won on the hard level. So I managed to claim prizes. I've already earned it, but the competition is not over, so that's why it's still there. Something called Classic Masters. I think this is where I use my Hall of Fame team, I think. So let's get in here. Okay, it's a bit annoying because in this game it's sort of like most of the ratings are much higher than me. So I'm not gonna play this game because I know that 950 versus someone with more than 1,000 points, I'm probably gonna lose, right? But I can do reselect, but that cost me 16 million every time, and it's kind of tough recently because there was one time I did it for like 10 times and I couldn't end up with a team I can beat. So the maximum, so I have 2 games that I can play. The maximum is 5. I'm just gonna leave it here for a couple of days. And you have Partners Cup. Okay, so they do these special promotions, right? And like some of them are auto played where they take your team and they put it against another team, and they tell you the result. You don't even have to play it. But I guess the important thing for us is that there's like gonna be rewards, right? So yeah, that's it for this first episode. It's much longer than I expected it. If you have any questions, let me know. I'll probably delve into a few other facets of the game later on, because there's even stuff like this part here. Okay, so this is like association. So I started an association, and I have members. I have like association details, and each member can sort of nominate players to share with other players. So it's pretty cool. Like I said, it's a really really deep game, and I found it enjoyable. And well, before we go, like even here, like this bottom banner here, it's like I'm earning this other form of points, right? It's they call it credit. And when I have enough, I have about 1,000 now. When I have enough, then I can actually trade it for players. Like so, for example, it's not bad, right? 1,000 points because I can get 2 6-star players. Okay, I can get Morientes. Okay, I can get Cordoba. Obviously, it's gonna be a center back. I can get Nakamura. I already have Nakamura in my team, so it's not a really good idea to get Nakamura, because even though you get him, like you can't sign him to play in the team. You can have one Nakamura in the team at one time. David Beckham is really cool because that starting spec is already like 87. Man, I mean like probably need like 2 training sessions to get him up to 90. And you have Zico, absolute legend. In this game 83, and Maradona, who doesn't know Maradona, is already 89. Man, it's like amazing, really really amazing. But the fact that I don't have to buy it and I can just like earn the credits, it's really cool, right? So all I have to do is like do certain stuff here and I get the credits, and yeah, I get the players. So thanks for watching. I hope I answer a lot of questions. If there's any questions, just put it down below. Thanks everyone, and see you soon.